It is a massive week for Nintendo eShop sales, but this one, it's all about budget options. In fact, 90% of the games in this video are under $10 or your regional equivalents, covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. And then, as always, I've got two winners to announce later in this video for two $10 eShop gift cards, and I'm going to be giving away two more. To enter, just drop a comment down below. It is that simple. The winners will be announced next Saturday, and now, let's get into it. Katana ZERO is 40% off and matching the low price, and this is an absolute masterpiece. Now, it's from Devolver, which is a bit of a theme in today's video, but it is easily one of my favorite releases from them. Now, I will link my Devolver ranking video down below, but if you haven't played this one yet, you are in for something special. It's a brutal, fast-paced action game where you play as an assassin slicing through a relentless wave of enemies. Now, what sets it apart? One-hit kills. Every move has to be calculated, but thanks to the instant restart function, failure just becomes part of the flow. On top of that then, you have the ability to manipulate time, slowing things down and planning that perfect strike. The combat here, super stylish, satisfying and incredibly responsive. What really surprised me though was the story. For a game that could have just been all about the action, it delivers an incredibly well done narrative packed with mystery and twists that unfold in unexpected ways. Add in then a stunning neo-noir art style, a killer soundtrack and handcrafted levels that let you get creative with your approach, and yeah, this is easily one of the best indie action games out there. Golf Story is 81% off and new low price, and this one's an absolute gem. It is a shame the follow-up didn't quite hit the mark, but I can easily recommend this unique blend of character-driven storytelling, RPG mechanics, and, well, of course, golf. The best part though, you don't even need to be a fan of the sport to enjoy it. It's a well-loved experience for a reason, and the world, filled with quirky characters and gorgeous pixel art, makes it a joy to explore. Now, at its core, again, this is an RPG disguised as a golf game. You'll play as an aspiring golfer trying to make his dream a reality, but the journey takes you far beyond the fairway. Expect to travel across 8 different courses. You'll be taking on challenges, interacting with a unique cast, we'll say that, and you'll be using your golf skills for far more than just scoring birdies, because sometimes hitting a well-placed shot is the best way to solve a problem. It's charming, funny, and packed with unique mechanics that do keep things fresh from start to finish. And yeah, like if you haven't played it yet, this price makes it an easy pickup. Alright, if you're enjoying this video, do me a favour, subscribe, helps out the channel a huge amount. Now, Hades is back with 60% off and matching the low price, and honestly, what more needs to be said? It's one of the most beloved games of the generation, and for good reason. Tight, responsive combat, challenging boss encounters, and a story that keeps you hooked long after your first escape. Also, with Hades 2 on the horizon, probably a Switch 2 title, there couldn't be a better time to jump in. Here though, you'll be playing as the son of Hades, trying to break free from the underworld. Every run, you'll take on new challenges, fight off waves of enemies, and choose between powerful boons from the Olympian gods, each shaping your playstyle in a different way. The game is built for replayability with procedurally generated layouts, new surprises every attempt, and permanent upgrades that make every death feel like progress. Plus, the fully voiced cast and really unique and well done dialogue makes this world feel alive. It adds emotional depth, which, again, it's the sort of thing you just don't expect with the theme. So yeah, look, if you're looking for a challenge and a well done story, Hades is quite frankly a masterpiece, and I definitely recommend it. Journey to the Savage Planet is 75% off, matching the low price, and with a sequel recently announced, it's the perfect time to jump in. Now, I do hope we see that follow-up on the Switch, but for now, this one is well worth your time. It's a first-person adventure, but it leans heavily into Metroidvania mechanics, pushing you to explore, upgrade, and unlock new abilities to progress. Now, you play as an employee of Kindred Aerospace, officially the 4th best interstellar exploration company. You're sent to explore an uncharted planet, ARY-26. You want to see if it's fit for human life. Now, of course, as is typical, I guess, you're under-equipped, underqualified, and hilariously underprepared. Now, the game's going to throw you into what is a very bizarre alien world full of weird creatures, hallucinogenic plants, and some questionable biological discoveries. Expect plenty of humour alongside the exploration, with absurd messages from your employer and some of the best in-game ads I have ever seen. Gameplay-wise though, expect to explore, scan creatures, and use a mix of jetpacks, grappling hooks, and weapons to push deeper into the planet. This one, it can be played solo or co-op, Definitely a lot of fun in the latter, and look, sure, on the Switch it doesn't look perfect, but the port is still solid, and the world's personality more than makes up for the visual compromises. Card Shark is an incredibly unique experience, and at 65% off, it's a new low price. Best described as an adventure game, it tells a story of a group trying to make their way in 18th century France, though not through honest means, rather through crime and deception. The narrative is brilliant, weaving intrigue and mystery into a stylish and unpredictable journey. Add to that then a very unique hand-drawn art style and an incredible soundtrack, kind of period-esque, and yeah, I think it is something truly special. Now, the core gameplay itself then revolves around card-based minigames, but rather than playing cards, you're cheating your way to victory. You'll learn and master sleight of hand techniques like false shuffles, deck switching, and card marking to outsmart your opponents. And the best part, these aren't just random quick-time events. Most of the mechanics feel like real tricks you could pull off in real life with enough practice. As you do climb the ranks then through this world, your choices begin to matter, get caught cheating, and there will be consequences. But if you do play smart, you'll work your way from backroom parlors to high-stakes games, uncovering a conspiracy along the way. Return to Monkey Island is 50% off, matching the low price, and for point-and-click fans, it's a must-play. I grew up on the series, adored it back then, and that love still holds strong today. Now, the sequel, this one, was long overdue, and while the art style stirred some debate, personally, I think it works. The writing, humour, and puzzles then, classic Monkey Island through and through. Now, the story, it picks up years after Monkey Island 2, with Guybrush Threepwood once again setting out to uncover the fabled secret of Monkey Island. His old nemesis, the zombie pirate LeChuck, is back, but the world has changed. Melee Island is under new cutthroat leadership, Elaine Marley has moved on from governing, and Guybrush himself feels unfulfilled. What follows is a swashbuckling adventure across familiar and uncharted islands filled with, of course, clever puzzles, absurd situations, and the kind of banter that made the series basically a legend. I love the delivery as well. He's basically telling the story to his son, kind of reminiscing about past adventures. Gameplay-wise then, it's modernising classic point-and-click mechanics with streamlined interactions and a really well-done inventory system. It means it's really accessible but still keeps that old-school charm. But yeah, come here to explore, solve riddles, and outwit pirates in a way that feels both nostalgic and fresh. Fitness Boxing Fist of the North Star is 90% off, a new low price, and if you're looking for a fitness game that lets you throw punches while getting in a solid workout, it's going to be a great pick. I actually covered this one before, check out the video link below, but in short, it's fitness boxing with a Fist of the North Star twist, meaning you'll be training with and battling iconic characters from the anime. Now, at its core, it's a rhythm-based boxing game where you follow on-screen cues to throw jabs, hooks, and uppercuts, while instructors guide you through your workout. The theme, though, adds some extra personality, with rivals stepping in as your trainers. What's really fun, though, is the battle mode, where you're not just shadowboxing, you're taking down waves of enemies in outlaw battles or facing off against bosses as well. The game, it's really designed for quick daily sessions, about 15 minutes per day, making it an easy way to fit some movement into your routine. The Atelier Ryza Trilogy is on sale individually, and these are fantastic RPGs with a lighter, more adventure-driven focus. The stakes aren't as high as some other RPGs, but that's part of the charm. It's about exploration, gathering resources, and mastering alchemy. The first game, Everdarkness and the Secret Hideout, follows Ryza and her friends as they set out on a journey to uncover hidden truths about their island. Lost Legends and the Secret Fairy expands on this with a deeper mystery and new lands to explore, while Alchemist at the End and the Secret Key brings everything full circle with an epic adventure filled with nostalgia. I can't fault these games personally, they look stunning on the Switch, and I'd even argue some of the best looking games on the system. If you haven't played them then, now is the perfect time, with Everdarkness at 70% off, Lost Legends at 65% off, and Alchemist of the End at 50% off. Fantastic games, well worth the time. Horizon Chase 2 is 50% off and matching the low price, and while it's not perfect, it is a fun arcade racer packed with content. A patch helps smooth out some of the performance drops, but my biggest issue, and it still stands, was the visual design. The first game had this great retro look, and for some reason they ditched it here, opting for something that to me looks a little cheap. That said though, the racing itself is still solid, with tight controls, plenty of modes to keep you busy. But this one, yeah, it's basically a full-on arcade experience, bringing back the fast, accessible gameplay of classic 90s racers. Basically, you're always in control and no complicated mechanics, just pure speed, overtakes, and nitro boosts. The game features then both online and local multiplayer, letting you race with friends in split screen or take on players worldwide in online events. There's even a career mode, and an extensive one at that, where you can unlock upgrades and customize your cars with different paint jobs and decals. Snezhinka, definitely pronouncing this wrong, but it's my pickup of the week. Not necessarily a recommendation for that reason, but maybe you'll want to join me for the ride. But this one's a new release that caught my attention. Now, it's 10% off at launch, and I first stumbled across it this week while covering new PlayStation releases over on PlayStationCorner. The more I looked into it, the more intrigued I became, especially since it has a strong following on Steam. I actually have no idea what to expect, but from what I can tell, it's a sequel, though I've never heard of the first game, and it's all about taking down mechs in intense battles. Now, the blurb basically here, but set in a dystopian world, it's got gorgeous 2.5D pixel art, and you'll play as Snezhinka, another, again, name I'm pronouncing wrong. You're an employee of a private military company fighting across various battlefields. The structure's pretty unique. You get paid with every battle, but with taxes, deductions, and expenses eating away at your earnings, managing your finances becomes just as important as upgrading your weapons and recruiting allies. So yeah, the game features a story mode where the narrative shifts based on which co-worker you bring into battle. It basically gives you multiple playthroughs worth of content. There are also challenge modes with online rankings, plus a collection mode to track everything you've unlocked. My only concern, I know it says replayability there in its own blurb, but the research I've done tells me that the story is roughly about an hour long. But that said, tons of reviews on Steam, which tells me that replayability must be very true. Bleak Sword DX is 60% off and new at low price, and honestly, I love this game. You can find my review below, but let me just say, this is one of the most unique takes on a Souls-like I've ever played. And it throws you into a dark fantasy world, but instead of sprawling landscapes, you're fighting across compact diorama battlefields. It gives it a very distinct, almost board game-like feel. Visually as well, I think it's stunning. There's a minimal, yet highly atmospheric art style, and yeah, really oppressive tone throughout as well. Now the premise is straightforward then. You must lift the curse of the Bleak Sword by battling your way through 12 brutal chapters filled with, I guess, monsters and horrifying creatures. The combat, though, it's all about tight, precise mechanics. You'll be dodging, parrying, and striking at just the right moments. It's going to be, pushing you to the limit. It's very much a fight, life or death. But where Bleak Sword DX really shines is in its variety. Beyond the main campaign, you've got a randomizer mode that shuffles progression, a boss rush mode where you take on all 12 bosses back to back with a single health bar, and then an arena mode that pits you against endless waves of enemies in a fight for survival. This DX version then expands on the original Apple Arcade release with improved AI, new moves, and graphical enhancements. Basically, it's a definitive way to play. Gunbrella is 60% off and new at low price, and this is a game that grabbed me instantly. It's an action platformer, sure, but what sets it apart is the Gunbrella itself, both a weapon and a movement tool, giving you a unique way to glide, dash, and attack enemies. The world is dark and gritty, and while we've seen that style plenty of times, there's something about Gunbrella's style that makes it feel extra raw, matching the tone of its noir punk revenge story. Now, my review is linked below too if you do want to go into more detail, but as a summary, you're on a mission for revenge, arriving in this unfamiliar town armed only with that trusty Gunbrella. As you dig deeper into the mystery, things spiral into something much bigger, involving cultists, gangsters, and corrupt cops. It's a world soaked in decay where every conversation adds another layer to that eerie atmosphere. And the Gunbrella itself isn't just a gimmick, it is the heart of the game. In combat, it allows for fast-paced aggressive movement, letting you glide, swing, and dive into enemies with ease. But then on the journey, you'll scavenge for parts to upgrade the weapon, unlocking new munitions as the threats escalate, as well as, I guess, new ways to get around this world. Our winners of the week then, 2 $10 eShop gift cards here on screen right now. Congrats on the win both, email me for the code, and everyone else, drop a comment down below for your chance in next week's video. Kill Knight is 33% off, matching the low price, and honestly this might be my favourite India 2024. It is brutal, stylish, and punishing in the best possible way. If you're looking for a game that's going to test your reflexes and your patience, this is the one. It might just be the most challenging game on the system. It's definitely at least up there. Now you play as a fallen knight, betrayed and left to rot in the abyss, now resurrected as Kill Knight with a single purpose: kill the last angel. The story is honestly throwaway stuff, but the world is split into 5 layers, each one a nightmare of decayed ruins and relentless enemies, and yet it's kind of leaning heavily into its lo-fi, neon-drenched retro aesthetic, but yeah, it's this kind of perfect blend of old school arcade style and modern brutality. Combat though, fast and ruthless, demanding precision and aggression. You'll need to master your arsenal of weapons ranging from heavy firepower to brutal melee attacks. And you'll need to make use of executions and wrath blasts to stay alive. The more you kill, the stronger you get. The more you kill, the more bullets you get. It's all about raising your kill power to boost speed and damage. But yeah, it's a bloody tough game, well worth the investment. Also, if you do manage to get through that core kind of experience, there's a master mode as well, which actually throws all 5 layers into a single extended challenge. I had no chance of that option. I also really like the fact there's global leaderboards for those that want to, prove their supremacy. So yeah, if you're up for a challenge, wrapped in a very cool aesthetic with an incredible soundtrack as well, Kill Knight, must buy. And that is the video done. Will you be adding anything to the library this week? Let me know in the comments. With that, then a shout out to the patrons and the channel members who are going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Then hit subscribe, join us here for Switch content weekly. That's reviews, deals, news lists, all that good stuff. And yeah, see you all in the next video. Cheers all.